Hello, everybody. So many headlines today in the newspapers with Mr. Jaishankar saying that the ties between India and China would be getting restored, and also martial law being imposed in South Korea by the president, fearing anti-state activities by the opposition supported by the North Korea. And also we can see that the Palestinian Islamic outfits, which is Hamas and also Fatah, they have said that they would be establishing a committee to run Gaza post-war. So all these headlines are there, but look into the questions first of all. What are the questions which have been drafted on today's news? Now, one news is on the Banking Laws Amendment Bill 2024, which has been passed by the Lok Sabha yesterday. So the question is, which one of the following statement related to Banking Laws Amendment Bill 2024 is incorrect? Now, the first statement reads like this: it allows bank accounts holder to have up to 4 nominees in their account. This is a change. This bill is aligned with Constitutional 97th Amendment Act 2011. It decreases the tenure of directors in cooperative banks, and also it proposes changes. Fourth statement is it proposes changes for redefining substantial interest of directors. See, the substantial interest of directors definitely proposes changes, and that has been enhanced from rupees 5 lakh to rupees 2 crore. And it decreases the tenure. In fact, it has increased the tenure. So the incorrect statement is C. So the tenure of directors have been enhanced from 8 to 10 years. And certainly it is aligned with the Constitutional 97th Amendment Act 2011, and it allows bank account holders to have up to 4 nominees in their account. So this is another thing which you have to look into. That's the first question and can be a possible question in your examination. See the next question as such. The next question is, now today is December 4th, that is the World Wildlife Day. So question on that, and you can see an article in Hindu on that only, the biodiversity of India. Now consider the following statements. India accounts for 7 to 8% of world's biodiversity. Second is India is one among the mega biodiverse countries of the world. Third is India is home to more of avian species documented so far than to fish or amphibian species. And fourth is there are more than 70% critically endangered species in India. How many of the above mentioned statements are correct? See, as far as the first statement is concerned, definitely it is correct. 7 to 8%. And that's why India is one among the 7 mega biodiverse countries of the world. there are 17 mega biodiverse countries of the world, and India is one among these 17 mega biodiverse countries of the world. Now, what is the definition of mega biodiverse country? Mega biodiverse country of the world means that they consist of, they incorporate 2/3 of non-fish vertebrates. 2/3 of non-fish vertebrates. First thing. And second, they are also consisting of 3/4 of higher plant species. So these countries where these two things are present, 17 in number they are, and they are called as mega biodiverse countries of the world. India is one among them. Third statement is India is home to more of avian species documented so far than to fish or amphibian. Definitely this is also correct. This is correct. This is also correct because the avian species documented in India, India has more than 13%, 13.6% of avian species documented so far, and fish species is more than 11%, and amphibian is more than 4%. More than 4%. So India has more of avian species documented so far than to fish, and there are more than 70 critically endangered species in India. And critically endangered is according to the IUCN Red List. There are 73. That's also correct. So all the four statements are correct. All the four statements are correct. And based on the article which has been uh, published in the newspaper. Let's see another question. Third question. Which one of the following statement is incorrect? A very high concentration of extra chromosomal DNA is present in cancer line cell. Extra chromosomal DNA consists of small part of DNA that breaks away from the main chromosome and forms a circular structure that freely floats inside the nucleus. DNA found in mitochondria is also called as extra chromosomal DNA. Eukaryotic chloroplast does not consist of extra chromosomal DNA. See, the correct answer means the incorrect option is D. Because whether it is eukaryotic chloroplast or other plant plastids, they consist of extra chromosomal DNA. If suppose we talk about the cell, this is the nucleus of the cell, and here is the bearers of hereditary characteristic, that is chromosomes, which is made up of DNA. So DNA is not only confined to the nucleus of the cell. DNA is present in two other parts of the cell. One is mitochondria. Mitochondria also DNA is present. And in plant, plastids would be having DNA. Eukaryotic chloroplast also has DNA. So plastid DNA which is present in mitochondria, DNA which is present in plastid is also called as extra chromosomal DNA. But here the meaning of extra chromosomal DNA is the DNA that breaks away from the main chromosome and forms a circular structure that freely floats inside the nucleus. That is also called as extra chromosomal. Why this in contemporary issue? This is a question of biology. Now, this in the contemporary issue because a recent report has been published in the journal called Nature, and this report says that the cancer line cells, they have extra chromosomal DNA to a greater extent. 40% of cancer line cells have extra chromosomal DNA, and roughly about 90% of cancer cells which are taken from the tumors, they also have extra chromosomal DNA. Extra chromosomal DNA consists of also oncogenes. And oncogenes are what? Oncogenes, mutation of these genes is responsible for causing cancer. So the correct option would be D. I think this is clear. First of all, know what is extra chromosomal DNA, which is present in mitochondria also, plastid also, and also this would be included in extra chromosomal DNA's definition as such. Let's see the fourth question. Now, see, sometimes in UPSC, they ask you question concerning diseases and health. Earlier in your examination, I remember trans fat has been asked as question. So there can be a question asked on superfoods. There can be a question asked on nutrition as such, also in examination. So number of times they have asked you question on trans fats. That's why I have drafted a question from one of the journals. Not only newspaper I am taking into consideration, but also journals. And this is what? Which one of the following statement is incorrect? Slow digestible carbohydrates are more damaging to health compared to rapidly digestible carbohydrates. That's the first statement. Digestion resistant carbohydrates, DRCs, contribute to gut microflora nourishment. So third is DRC, digestion resistant carbohydrates, act as non-fiber component. And fourth is, that is statement D, slow digestible carbohydrates are present in food crops, but their content can change due to processing. See, when you talk about SDC, slow digestible carbohydrates, they are better for health. This statement is incorrect. They are good for health, not damaging to health when compared to. Now, slow digestible carbohydrates means what? That slowly they are responsible for release of glucose. within 30 to 180 minutes, they release glucose. And glucose release means here that there would be an extended glycemic response. Extended glycemic response. Glycemic scale is what? Glycemic scale measures the, it's a scale which measures the sugar which would be released into the blood by the food taken by us. So it has extended glycemic response. On the other hand, rapidly digestible carbohydrates would be releasing glucose within minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. And they enhance the glycemic response. So quick glycemic response would be there. Here, extended glycemic response would be there. That's why it is better for health. Digestion resistant carbohydrates are not digested by us, but they are utilized by. There are some foods which are not digested by it. The food that we eat, some part is not digested by us. So this is there, DRCs. But this is utilized by your gut microbiota. Gut microbiota means in your digestive tract bacteria is present, which develops your good bacteria there, which develops your immune system. So for their nourishment, this is called as microflora, or this is called as microbiome also. Microbiome also. And they develop your immune system. So DRC is utilized by microflora or microbiome for their nourishment as such. DRC act as non-fiber component, that's correct. And HDCs are present in food crops, but they can, their content can change due to processing. Definitely means that the food crop that we have, it should not be altered. It should not be processed. Processed food is not good for health. So HDC is also present in nuts, vegetables, and also superfoods like quinoa, shea, etc. So this is their sources as such. So maybe that they can ask you a question like this: HDC, RDC, and DRCs as such. So what they are, she should know about them. Next question. Consider the following statements. The Digital Agriculture Mission. I think that they may ask you this question also. The Digital Agriculture Mission aims to create a consolidated database of farmers, their land holdings, and land records. The mission would provide farmers ID similar to Aadhaar. The states and UT would bear the maximum burden of budgetary allocation, with the remaining beared by the center for this mission. And this mission would be rolled out over the next 5 years. How many of the above mentioned statements are correct? See, first statement is definitely correct. Second statement is also correct. And this would enable the farmer to get benefit of the government schemes. They would be benefited from this. The states and UT would bear the maximum burden. This is definitely wrong, because maximum burden would be beared by the center, and the remaining would be beared by the states and UTs. The mission would be rolled out in the next 5 years. This is also wrong. 2 years, that is 2025. This has been approved. 2026, so this is also incorrect. So Digital Agriculture Mission is meant for this purpose. So these statements should be taken into consideration. That much knowledge you should have about Digital Agriculture Mission. So I think that only 2C would be the correct answer. So that's the correct option for you. So thank you so much. And on daily basis, we continue like this. Thank you so much.